Good morning and welcome to another video. This morning we are in Django's Viv, just doing daily maintenance type things. It's a little bit different with Django than say the ball python we've got above, being that he is a venomous snake, so I want to be careful that I don't startle him or piss him off and get bitten. So I've got my hook here that I'll be doing most of the work with inside the Viv rather than sticking my hand in. First job is to find the snake and make sure you know where he is at all times. So you can see his tail is here, however that does not mean he's in that cave. I've already spotted him and he's buried himself under the substrate. Oh, he's popped his head back in again now. But he's actually buried himself around about here. There he is. So I'm going to just gently use the hook to get him out of the way. Right, so now the fun part. I've got to try and work out where he's buried and get a hook on him. So bear with me because I can't look through the camera and what I'm doing at the same time. So I'll just kind of hold it there. Let's see if we can find a loop of snake somewhere. There we go. And just gently lift him and kind of encourage him to wander off somewhere else. Okay, so now we know where he is and he's kind of wanting to stay out of the way now. I've annoyed him a little bit. He's put some substrate into his water bowl, so we'll get that out and clean that out. We'll give the substrate a turn around and mist it down, as well as add some feed pellets for the little insects. What's it called? It's called custodian fuel. I'll show you the package when I bring it down. So I'll pull this out just now. Alright, I also want to grab this hide out because he can just fit in it, but he doesn't like it very much. So I'm going to disinfect it and give it to the ball python, who's a bit smaller. Again, I'm using the hook because I know he's over there and I don't want to risk a bite. Even with a snake like Django that I can free handle very easily, he's very sweet tempered. In his vivarium is a different story. You always want to respect the snake's space. This is where the water bowl goes, so I'm just going to move some of this moss that's got trapped behind here into the rest of the vivarium. Oops, sorry I dropped you a little bit. And flip the bark around. Drop that over there maybe. And I'm really just turning this every day so that any waste gets buried and the isopods and springtails can process that and everything's good. Right, so you can see it's a little bit dry. This sphagnum moss has gone quite pale as opposed to this piece over here that's quite green, quite dark green, so it's well hydrated. There's a couple of pale pieces, so it does need a spray down, so I'll do that now. Okay, so as you can see I've cleaned out the water bowl and refilled it with fresh water. Just dropped a little bit of moss in there. Because this species likes to swim, I do fill it up quite deep as opposed to the ball python's water bowl, which I'll show you in a minute. I've given it a good misting down, everything's nice and damp. The heater will heat that up and help the humidity up this morning. So I'm just going to sprinkle on some of this custodian fuel. It's for isopods and springtails, worms I guess. We don't use worms, but and as per instructions, you just sprinkle a little bit over the substrate every 5 to 7 days. I just wait until I can't see any anymore and then put some more on. So for Django's Viv, that's 4 by 3 feet and a couple of feet high. I use about this much and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the substrate on the cooler side. Make sure I get some right in the back corner. And that's that. Now I'll leave him alone and I'll show you the ball python cage that I've already done. Just so you can see how he's set up and I'll talk to you a bit about how he's settling in. And the very last thing to do on Django's Viv before we leave it is to make sure it's secure. So I just use these rubber door wedges. I use 2 of them just in case, one at the top, one at the bottom. and then there's no way he's getting out of that. So just before we go up to the ball python's cage, I just wanted to show you this bit. Taking these two little hides out of Django's cage. He can't really fit in them and he doesn't really use them for anything. So I've already rinsed them off in hot water. Ignore my carpet, that's just from when I was messing about earlier. I'm going to use some F10 reptile safe disinfectant just to make sure there's no bugs or viruses. I know Django is healthy and well, but just in case. So I'll give him a spray down with that, and then I'll take you up as I put them into his vivarium. Right, up to the ball python's enclosure. This just has a little lock here. Pull that out. Oh, if I can get the glass over. So he's over here at the minute. I'll let you have a little look at him. He's settling in really well. He's got a lovely sweet temperament. And he smashed food a few days ago, so that's a really good sign. He's been really active. As you can see, I've got a couple of branches in here, and he's been climbing around on those quite a bit. So yeah, he's settling in lovely. I've named him Butterball, but for sure I'm going to call him Butters because of his morph, which if you didn't catch it on the Discord, he is a pastel butter vanilla ball python. So up here, I've already sprayed him down and cleaned his water this morning. I'm just going to put some of the custodian fuel in and the new hides, and we'll leave him be. I'll just pop that back like that and he will shift himself to make it comfortable again. We'll put that side over and we'll come over here. It's got a nice clean water bowl. You can see here this is a much smaller bowl. Ball pythons don't tend to want to soak as much. He could fit in here if he wanted to, but as you can, it's much smaller, it's not as deep, it's mainly just a water source. So I've got the disinfected hides here. I'm going to put one in the back over there. Oh, what's it sitting on? Oh, there's a rock there I forgot about. Let's move the rock over here. I'll put that back behind there, so it's kind of under the branch, the entrance. And then over here, I'm going to put this one just like this. There we go. And then he's got a few more places to hide, a few more places to change his temperature as he wishes. And then same again, slightly less because this is a 4x1 viv, but a little handful, and I'll just put it over the substrate areas like that. And he is done for the day. Thank you for watching. I hope I helped you learn something. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.